Welcome to this session of Getting Started and Out of the Blocks Fast with MOBIT. Today I am going to take you through the really simple process of creating a MOBIT template. The first thing we're going to do is take you through a template from the store to show you how that's been constructed and how you can really easily customize that on the fly in a matter of minutes. And then we're going to create one from scratch using the landing page editor snippets tool. Okay, so hang on to your hats, here we go. The first thing you'll want to do is click on your navigation bar on the top left hand side and click on your templates tab. So let's just go and see what we have available from the MOBIT store, and the tab I'd like you to select is the My MOBIT landing page templates. Now if this is the first time you've arrived in the My MOBIT landing page templates area, this will be blank. So go ahead and click on the MOBIT store and find any one of the 100 or so templates that we have for you here free of charge. For example, this one here, this Churchlight one. Let's go and click on Add. And as soon as that button's gone, it will appear right here, to the left here. Okay, now the little window does come up here and say you have purchased the template, but don't panic, we're not charging you anything. They are all 100% free. Okay, so I think I'm going to use this one here for today's session, the power of prayer. So now what I want you to do is select the campaign tab from the navigation tab, and on your application, if it's the very first time you've logged in, you will have this little beauty here called default campaign. So let's go ahead and turn that little puppy on and go and either click on the name here, or on the right hand side on the action node, go ahead and click on edit. Okay, so we have got a simple campaign here showing this is for an SMS message and this is for a MOBIT message. We can tell, of course, because that's what it's saying in the text. And this little icon here is also displaying the correct icon for both a MOBIT and an SMS. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this one. And now I just want an SMS message. So we've already shown you how to build a campaign, so we're not going to bother again with that on this session. We're just going to jump straight into the landing page editor tab. So go ahead and click on landing page editor, and here you will see the editor dashboard. Okay, now it looks rather daunting, but trust me, it's not. It's really straightforward. At the moment we are not showing any template on the canvas here. So let me explain just a couple of quick things first. The way in which you build templates is by pulling out these various snippets on the right hand side here. So these are our drag and drop snippets. Okay? When you pull a snippet out, the control function for that is on the left hand side here. So if you pull out a button, you will pull out button controls. If you pull out images, there'll be image controls, and so on and so forth. Same applies for videos and everything else. So let's go ahead first, and rather than having a grey background, let's just click once on the background, and over on the left hand side here where it says background under page properties, I'm going to do one of two things. First, I'm going to show you the wheel, so you can move the wheel around to any old colour you'd like. Now I'm colorblind, so everything looks 100% perfectly fine to me, but I'm sure it looks pretty garish to you. I would like white, so I'm going to select FF, because I know that's the color for white. Okay, now just something right in front of us here that I'd like to explain. At the base of every single template, a MOBIT template, are these three things: the unsubscribe button, our policies button, which links to our privacy policy and anti-spam policies pages, and our terms and conditions. You cannot remove these. You can change the font colors and the styles and the size, but you cannot remove them. And we always recommend you make them nice and prominent in your templates. Nothing to hide, right? Okay, every single template that MOBIT provides you free of charge has three standard pages: an index page or a home page. I like to call them home pages. One day I'll get round to getting the team to change these names. An opt-in page and a thank you page for when someone fills out our form. Okay, right, let's take you through one by one the snippets on the right hand side. Now I know I said I was going to take you through a customized template first, but hey, we're going to change things up as we go. So the first thing is, let's bring out a little text box. Okay, and on the left hand side here we can go ahead and put in anything we like. So we can say hi, first name. Let's go and click on insert custom fields and click on the first name. I would love you to attend our webinar next week. Click on the link below to book your seat. Regards, Seamus McFornus. No, Sean will do. Right, okay. Now that looks pretty bland and boring there. So let's go and change it up a little bit. Let's go and change the text color. And let's go down the bottom here where it says font family and select this drop down list and just check out all the fantastic fonts you've got available. All these Google fonts available that you can just simply select, and it'll change the look and feel of the fonts. So no more boring Calibri, Times New Roman, Arial fonts. You've got all these fantastic fonts available to you. So I'm going to select that one there because that looks pretty cool to me. And then I can change that. I can move it. I can reduce the size of the box. If I wanted to put an image to the right hand side here, I could do that. But at the moment I'm just going to leave it right there for now. Okay, go ahead and click on save. Pays to save every minute or two. Well, not every minute, but every 5 minutes, because MOBIT at this stage doesn't have an auto save function. The next button down is an image bucket button. So let's go ahead and pull that out, and let me show you what happens as soon as you do this. It brings up a dialog box. Now, if you're doing this for the very first time, your dialog box will not have any folders. So the first thing I always recommend people do is go and create a folder structure that makes sense so that you don't get things lost all over the place. So you've got your headers, your footers, buttons and backgrounds, logos and signatures. Okay? Because if you're like me, you can get yourself horribly confused and mixed up really, really easily. So I'm going to select a header that I have. And the header that I want to add in is from my good friend Matt Church at Thought Leaders in Australia. So let's go ahead and select Matt. And there he is, old smiling Matt. Okay, so that'll do. Now, the one thing you'll notice is any image you bring in from your desktop or anywhere else for that matter will auto size to the right optimized format for the mobile page. So MOBIT's really cool in that regards. We don't recommend for a minute that you bring in 5 and 10 meg image files, but you can. We try and recommend them, the images be around 1 to 2 megabytes, but in terms of the size, they can be any size you would like. It automatically reduces them down to the right 320 pixel width. If you're not happy with the size and you want to reduce it down even further, you can just click on the edges here and make it really, really small. So let's just squish them up. Now, one thing I must tell you, MOBIT at this stage doesn't have auto scaling, so you've got to sort of just measure it about where you think it's going to look good. He probably doesn't want me to make his face look fat or thin. So there we go. Let's just run with that. And yeah, that's about right. Matt won't be offended with that. Okay, so there's our header. And maybe we want to add a title. So let's go in here and bring the text box back in. And let's say, join me for Thought Leaders next week. All right, let's go and select a nice font. That will do. Actually, you know what? I'm going to select Oswald because that's a nice font. I like that one. And I'm going to select the text and center it. And there we go. Okay, starting to take shape. Click on save again. Right, now this little beauty here is a little link button. So if we've got something like an image and we want someone to click on it, you can actually apply a URL to an image just by simply clicking once on the image. And down on the left hand side under image properties, you can simply go ahead and put in a URL that you would like to link that particular image to. So in the case of Matt, we would probably link him to Thought Leaders or Matt Church whoops, that won't go anywhere. mattchurch.com. And there we go. Okay, so that image now is going to be a clickable image. As soon as someone clicks on that, it'll take them to Matt's website, mattchurch.com. But we can do it another way. We can bring out this little link tool here, and it is a hyperlink tool. So we can change the name. We can say click here to register. And we can apply under the link URL here, we can apply the same thing. So we can go http://mobit.com, which will take you to our website, of course. And there we have it. That'll be a clickable link. So you can put that over the top of an image, or over his smiling face, or wherever you like. Okay, let's remove that for now. You can remove a snippet that you have placed on the page by clicking your delete key on your keyboard, or going up to the garbage bin here and clicking on that little fella. Righty ho, so the next one is a button. We can bring that one out, and if we just want them to click on a button to register, we can do that. We can go ahead down on the left hand side here and change the button label. We can say click here to book your seat, and we can change the size. We can change the font size, the weight, the style, the color, anything you like. And let's go and change the background to be more like Matt's colors. And here I'm not going to get this right, I know, because I'm so colorblind and useless. There we go, that'll do. Right, so there we have it. And maybe change the font color. Let's go and look at the font color. Let's use, that'll do. There you go, not bad for a colorblind bloke. Okay, so we've got the click button here. The next button down looks like a button, but it's actually a spacer. Pull that one down and we can put it over the text, which is kind of not very useful until you can do this sort of thing. Now check this out. Let's just move that size of that, so you can change the size of it as you will. And you think, well, why the hell am I doing that? Well, just check this out. Okay, up the top here, you'll see a bring forward or send backwards, just like PowerPoint. So go ahead and click once on the shaded box and click on send backwards. You need to click it a few times. So there you go, until it disappears down the back end there. And let's go and do that. Now that color's pretty gaudy, so let's go and change the background to, I don't know, that'll do, a nice blue. And click on save. Fantastic. Okay, next button down is the form control button. Now this is the secret sauce of MOBIT. This does away with all that stupid two-way texting thing where you're asking people for their first name, then you send them another text and ask them for their second name, and then you send them another text and ask them for their mobile number, and pretty soon you've got about 15 texts going backwards and forwards, and what a waste of time. This is the absolute secret sauce of MOBIT. So go ahead and drag that little beauty out there, and it pops up this dialog box. So you can add text boxes, drop down lists, radio button, check boxes, date and time fields, all of these things, and all these primary fields. So we can go and say, well, it's your first name, your last name, and your email address. Click on done. So that looks pretty nasty the way it is, but it's not too bad. Let's just go and move that around there, and you'll see it's got its little button control there. So that button control can be anywhere and any size. So you can even have it on the right hand side if you wish. All right, if you wanted to put the form on the left and the button on the right, you could do that, but we won't do that today. Okay, so you can see we're running out of space pretty quickly, but not a problem. What we're going to do is click on the bottom here. You can see how I'm hovering. So we're going to drag that down. Okay, drag him down. Move these little beauties down, and there we have some more space. So bring this form down, and I'm going to get rid of this button because it's pretty damn useless, because we actually want them to fill out the form. So let's go and get rid of that. And you know what? I'm going to copy this. So this text here, rather than dragging out another text box, I'm going to just duplicate this and drag it down. Pretty cool, huh? Right, so I'm just going to go and change the text of that. Register your seat below by completing, I can't spell either, completing the form. That'll do. There we go. Okay, so let me show you a couple of little tricks. Now, you see we've got labels. We've got first name with first name, last name, last name. Well, that's pretty hopeless. So what we're going to do is click once on the form. Okay, once on the form, scroll up to the top of the page, and click on this little fella here, Manage Form Fields. Okay, now, just to the side of the form field, click there and it'll turn grey. And if you click on this little fella here, Hide Label, that name will go. And click on that one and click on that one, but the label will still show inside the box here, so it's quite cool. We can turn the field validation option on, and there we can capture their first name, last name and email address, and even their mobile number. But kind of figures that we would have their mobile number anyway because we've sent them this MOBIT message, but you get the idea. Okay. So we can include up to 100 different custom field types and 25 data types. So it's super flexible in terms of the information you can capture to build your lists. So let's now go and click on the form. See how it's nice and tidied out? It looks really nice and sharp. Let's go and click on the font sizes just to make it a little bit bigger, and we can increase the size of the boxes. Alright, nice and easy to manipulate the things. So the submit button here now, let's go ahead and drag that, right, because we want it to be nice and big, but probably don't want it green. So let's go and change the submit button name to Register Now. There we go. And the color, the background color, we're going to make it a nice black. And I know the hex color for black is 6 zeros. Okay, go ahead and click on save. And there we have it. Now, let's say we wanted to put Matt's social media channels on the page so that people could join up for his Facebook channel. He's got a fantastic YouTube channel. So let's just go and do that. Let's just move this down a tad just by dragging all these things. And let's go ahead now on the right hand side and pull out this little fella here called the F, and I've never figured out why we called it F. Should have been called S for social. Anyway, pull that beauty out, and then you'll see the social widgets appear. Now, you don't have to use these. You can use any social image you like. For example, rather than using this little button here, I could have just brought out an image. And let's go, have I got a folder for social buttons? No, I haven't, so let's go and add a folder for social. Social, whoops, icons. Okay, let's go and see if I can find one. Now click on image to add, and I'm going to go to my marketing folder and see if I can find a little Facebook icon. There's one right there, the good old Facebook PNG. Click, open, and you'll see it adds it in there. And now to simply add that, we click once on it so it's highlighted, and click choose. And there you go. There's your little Facebook button. So you can use those if you wish, or you can use these little fellas up here. So entirely up to you. So let's go and bring that down. And on the left hand side, we can turn the channels off that we do not wish to use. So Facebook's quite a good one, so let's just use that one. Google Plus, let's turn that off. LinkedIn, yes, let's turn that one on. Put in the URL path here of your particular channel. YouTube, yes, we want that. Twitter, yes, let's have that. Pinterest, no. Instagram, no. And there we have it, 4 little buttons. Ready to go, as long as you put your URL path in there. And just click on the little question mark here, and that'll tell you how to go about adding in those little URLs and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's just tidy this up a little bit. Okay, so we're all good to go. Now I know Matt is an absolute master when it comes to videos, so I'm now going to add in one of his YouTube videos. So again, pull the page down. I was just about to say pull your pants down. God, that'd be embarrassing. Pull the page down, and on the right hand side here, go ahead and pull out the YouTube snippet. Now, it's kind of strangely named because in fact it does more than YouTube. It does Wistia and Vimeo as well, and this little beauty here does MP4 and OGG videos. Okay, so we're going to leave that one today. I'm going to pull out the YouTube video, and then up comes the old box. Okay, now let's go to YouTube, and I've currently been watching a video from my good friend Gary Vaynerchuk, who's an absolutely fantastic speaker. If you've never come across Gary, you've never watched any of his videos around social marketing, then I highly recommend you do so. It's absolutely fantastic stuff. So let's go and find Matt Church, speaker, and we're gonna select this one. Okay, so it's 4 minutes long. That's all good. And what I'd like to draw your attention, actually, you know, I've seen another one, this one here on thought leadership. This is actually a really good video. This is 4 minutes long. So down on the share button, the link that I'd normally select, or you would normally think to select, is this little one here. But MOBIT does it slightly differently. We use the embed link. Okay, and the link we want is this little beauty here, from the www all the way through just before the quote mark. Copy that, and on the page, on the template page, click on the YouTube area, and then on the left hand side where it says YouTube video, go ahead and paste that link in right there. Now, don't worry if you forget this video and you can't find the video again, because all you have to do is hit on the little tooltip here and it'll show you what you need. So there's the little embed code for YouTube, there's the one for Wistia, and there's the one for Vimeo. Pretty straightforward, okay? Right, I think we're pretty much good to go. Let's just drag that down a little bit more, give it a bit more space. And you know what? I'm going to add another call to action. I'm going to, if they've watched the video, I want to bring this button down the bottom. So let's go ahead and duplicate that button. I can't duplicate that button because it's part of the form. So I should have known that. Let's go ahead and bring out another button here. And we'll make it the same color as above, and we'll call it register your seat above. And let's go ahead and turn it black. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we're good to go. Okay, now all we've got to do is make sure it looks right. Looks all right currently in the design tab. So this is the tab we're in at the moment, design tab. But when you click on this little beauty here, preview, you can see what she's going to look like in the browser on the mobile phone. So it's a header. Now that header doesn't look the greatest quality, but you get the idea. Our YouTube links, our Facebook, LinkedIn and Twitter links, our text, our form to fill out the information, for our audience to fill out their information. And by the way, all of this information here that's captured is automatically stored against the contact record in MOBIT. And if you're integrated to Infusionsoft, it'll send it straight back instantly to your Infusionsoft contact record. Now, here's Matt's video, and you can check that she's going to play all right just by clicking on the button.
Welcome to MFAA on Air.
So there we go. And we're good to go, apart from one small thing. Now, I have been called a bit of a perfectionist from time to time, but videos always grind my gears. So what I want to do is show you how to trim this video up so that you get a nice border top and bottom. So just go down to the video itself, and on the left hand side all you've got to do is adjust the height. Okay, click on save and then click preview again, and you can see you're just starting to trim it up nicely. So we have a couple of little advanced tips that enable you to really sharpen this image up and have a nice video presented on the screen, which we'll send you some information on a little bit later on. Okay, so let's go and close that out. We are pretty much good to go. So we've created that template from scratch in just a few mo's, and now when that form's filled out, I want to select my thank you page. So let's go ahead and click on the thank you page, and you'll notice that it's looking rather bland, which is kind of okay because it's just a thank you page. Now the thank you page works slightly different in terms of the logo. So click on the company logo area, and on the left hand side here under image properties, click on change, and let's go ahead and find Matt's header again. Click choose and go ahead and put that in. Alright, and then all we want to do here is thank our customer or audience for signing up and registering for our webinar. So thank you for signing up for my webinar. My team will reach out to you shortly. To confirm. Regards, Matt. Okay, and you can of course format that in any way you would like, as we showed you before. Click on save. Righty ho. Let's go ahead and test this from end to end, as it will appear in the phone browser. Okay, click on preview. And then let's go ahead and put our details in. Mobile. And go ahead and click on register. And there's our thank you page. Pretty cool, huh? So there you go. Nice and simple. That's how you create a MOBIT landing page from scratch. Okay. Now that we've done that little gem, let's go and check out a template from the store to show you how easy it is to customize a template from the store. And let's create a new campaign. Click on Add New. Go ahead and add a new title. Select our target country, our start date, and an end date. And now we're going to use the, let's go and use the church light template. That was the one from the church that we checked out, remember? Okay, so after a minute or so, not quite a minute, but after around about a minute, once the template has been populated into the campaign area, you will be presented with this page here. So we're going to go straight back into the landing page editor again. We're not going to worry about creating a goal and a MOBIT message and all the rest of it because you already know how to do that. So click on the landing page editor and we will see the awesome template that was designed by, now who designed this? I should know who designed this. I think it was Belinda. She's an absolutely fantastic designer. So any of this information here, of course, can be edited. These are just images. This is just text. Sometimes we have little special buttons added to the templates, which you can add yourself, of course, but the designers have just added them in for us. So the use case for this particular one could be a map, because that's the little icon for a map, right? So if we had an address, let's go and look at, I don't know, let's go and look at a Google map. Let's go and type in an address that we know of. For example, the Writers' Centre in Sydney. That's a good one. We'll go and copy that URL to that map address. And when we click once on that link on the URL, we want to put the map link. Okay? Go ahead and click Save. Alrighty. So we can change any of this here. And there's our little Facebook and Twitter icons, of course, which we can change. And any of the text we can change. So there we go. And in a minute, less than a minute, we have a fantastic looking template that we can send out to our fellow churchgoers. Okay, let's go and click on Save. And there we have it, we're done. So if we click on Preview and click on Find Us, we will, of course, take them directly to Google Maps. Pretty cool, huh? We can also use the same function if we would like to turn that into, rather than Find Us, we could say Call Us. And we would take that little button off, I guess, and let's just leave it on there. Let's just imagine that that's a little telephone symbol. And under the URL link, we can, instead of having a Google map, we can completely replace that with a telephone option. And the URL for a telephone to be called is tel, T-E-L, colon, then our number, +61 for Australia, 555-5555. So when that link now is clicked on, it will automatically dial that phone number. So there you have it. Editing and customizing a template from the MOBIT store in less than a minute. Click on Save and you're done. Go back to Campaign Builder. Let's go back to Campaigns, and we will now show a list of the campaigns that we have built and customized. Don't forget, of course, if you want to use that particular campaign and you want to send that out, you just have to click on the Active button to turn your campaign on, and away you go. One last thing before we go. If you have spent a good amount of time creating a really nice looking template like this one we did for Matt, let's go ahead and click on Edit if we want to change the name and the description, because at the moment it's not very useful because it's called the default campaign and the description is default. On the right hand side, go ahead and click on the campaign summary icon. Click on the default campaign name and that will drop down the dialog box. So let's go ahead and change the title to Matt Church Webinar, and a good description, webinar on Thought Leaders, August 14th. Go ahead and click on Save, and we're good to go. So if we go back to Campaigns now, if we have spent a good amount of time creating that particular campaign, including the landing page, we can duplicate that particular campaign so we can use it for another webinar or another seminar without having to recreate the whole template over again. So if we click on Duplicate, that will go ahead and load up the template and all those campaign rules ready for us to start again. The campaign now has been duplicated, and there you see it. Copy, Matt Church Webinar, and the status is off. If we go back into that campaign now, there's our actual campaign that we created before, and our landing page is the one that we created just before the beginning of the session. So there you have it. simply how to create customized landing pages from a blank start and customizing templates from the MOBIT store really simply. I hope you enjoyed that. Look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Thanks everybody.